Right, everyone on my shoulders.
Sooner begun, sooner done. Thank you so much, and I'll ask him to offer me like a stirrup foot up, and I'll climb up onto his shoulders with that torch, and I'll take a look through that grate.
I have to say, La Shanta, you have fine ankles.
Well, thank you.
Well, take the opportunity to admire beauty, for you never know when you're going to be painted in blood.
Always romantic, you are, always romantic, and I'll just chime the chains on my belt again. And I'll look up in the grate.
You look up in the grate. Okay. With boosting up on Bralagar's height, you can easily reach the grate. You could easily pass head and shoulders through it. So you're sort of half bent over to avoid, braining yourself on the ceiling. You are holding the torch up and you can see stone ceiling above and stone walls. A little bit of it. You can't see too much. You haven't touched the grate yet. It looks old, rusty, and very solid, as in it was probably 2-inch thick bars when it was made brand new. So even though it's rusty, you get the feeling this thing is got more strength than you have. You don't think you could break a bar. You're like if somebody swung a mace at your femur and at one of the bars, the bar would survive and your femur might not. But you have no idea if maybe you can just push this grating up out of the way. You don't know if it's held down. It's definitely lying on top.
I'll try to push the grate.
And it's heavy, but it is obviously just lying there, like a gridwork on top of the opening. Because you can it to one side.
Nice.
Oh, wonderful. Well, let's all begin the process of getting rope and hook and let's go up.
Lash, you could probably launch yourself from Bralagar's shoulders through the hole, swing your arms wide, assuming there's, no guillotine or large pseudopod monster or anything else waiting for you up there. But you could probably swing your arms wide and end up holding yourself up on your elbows on the floor of this area above.
First, I'm going to swing that torch around in a circle and see if it reflects on any eyes or glistening things.
You swing your torch around, you think that you're illuminating an empty room. Okay, and so you dart through, knowing that you can pull your arms in and fall back down through the hole just like that if anything's attacking you. So you sort of dart up through, elbows out, wham, you're looking around what looks like a gigantic empty room. Well, not entirely empty. The walls are sculpted out in what looks like a continuous stone bench that runs all the way around the room that people could sit on. And this room is large enough that it has 4 gratings in the floor, yours being one of them. And you can guess that the other 3 correspond to holes in the center of the ceilings of the other 3 rooms. So this is like a deserted guard room or upper room to all of them. And all you notice about it is that its corners, its upper corners, where its walls meet its ceiling of this new room you're in, have tiny, about the size of a real world quarter, 25-cent piece, or dark opening, and you can feel air coming through those openings.
They look like kill holes?
Yeah. Well, they look more than kill holes. They look like they are long channels. As in, it doesn't look to you like there's a room on the other side, like a kill hole. So it looks more like these are long air tubes through stone, solid stone, bringing air in.
I'll relay that to everyone quietly.
Well, the good news is, if it is liquid that would fill in through those holes, it would take some time to fill the rooms below.
All right, so I'll put a hand down to next one up.
Wonderful. All right, I'll go next.
I'll help pull him up through.
It's pretty easy. If you put your arm down and he stands momentarily on Bralagar, and all you have to do is clasp arms with him and then roll away from the hole into the room, and you drag him up with you.
Hello.
Leaving Brelagar, but that's what you have a rope and grapple for.
Correct, and I will then, with Lash, 2 of us, lower that rope down.
So, you're in a new room. Big open room. Gratings. 4 gratings, one of them pulled aside, over 4 holes.
I'm gonna pace around and have a look down through the gratings. I know the rooms we're likely to see. Well, we didn't get to see the room the pseudopod was occupying because it was occupying it, and we didn't see too deeply into the cobweb-strewn room, so...
You can see into that room now.
Oh, I am. I'm going to skip over, and I'm going to kneel down to the grate and go, hello again.
And you're looking at a duplicate, an exact duplicate of yourself. It says, how do I look?
Well, very fetching, if I must say.
So, do you want to have a vacation and I can step in?
No, thanks. I like my friends in one piece.
Sometimes they fall for it. Okay, understood.
But I just wanted to say hello.
Hello.
Thanks. Bye.
You look around the room, but aside from these bench, which is carved stone, solid carved stone, just with joints in it every so many... I guess the dwarves couldn't find single blocks of stone longer than about, 60 feet. So they would start a new one. Aside from these joints, the benches are solid. As far as you can tell, they're like blocks, solid blocks.
Are they large enough for a person to sit on?
Oh gosh, yes. Yes. They're large enough for persons to lie down on. They're sort of like a stone block ledge. The only thing that keeps them from being a rectangular block is the fact that their front edges, where your feet would dangle, are slightly raked inwards.
But it's all carved.
Yes, it's all carved. It's otherwise a solid rectangle, but instead of being a solid rectangle, it's a trapezoid.
I mean, friends, I almost find myself wondering, are you supposed to sit and view the rooms? Like maybe some sort of sport, but then it doesn't seem as if... It's not quite right, is it?
Well, before you get comfortable, friend Timoran, I don't suppose I could benefit from the aid of some of your goddess's healing.
Certainly, yes, of course. I will go over and show my holy symbol and cast a simple Cure Light Wounds spell.
And please roll.
5 health.
Wonderful. I feel the warmth of luck and fortune coursing through my body, correcting the breaking of my nose that occurred earlier with a rather painful snap, but it's reassuring as well as the ligament goes back into place. That's right. That's better. Still bearing a few bruises, but I can back in fighting Fettle.
Excellent. So, Lash, the situation is getting most unpleasant. Surely there must be an exit to this room. There must be.
Well, I'll have to find it then. Do we see, with my torch, do we see any other exit? Do we see, is it just, how are people getting in to this room?
Assuming that the people you are speaking of can't fit through a channel the size of a quarter/50p piece, which would make them worms or small snakes, the only way in or out is those holes in the floor covered by the gratings. And by the way, you can see at a glance that all of them have gratings that can just be lifted or dragged aside.
I'd like to look through the grating that, until recently housed the animated armor.
Looks like an empty stone-lined room.
So that's the one we came up through.
What about the cobweb one? Can we see past the cobwebs into that room?
When you look through the grating, you again see, so they obviously fill the room right to the roof, thick, grey-white, grey dust-furred cobwebs, a chaos of intertwined webbing that blocks your view of the room. Like you're just looking into this chaos of webbing. And, by the way, the spider webs are as thick as your forefinger. And in some places, where 2 or 3 of them join together, they're as thick as your wrist.
For all my love of conflict, I have no desire to go into that room.
Is the floor smooth, or is it cobbled? Is it gravelly?
It is smooth-fitted stone slabs.
Okay.
It's the stone equivalent of tongue and groove siding. Okay, so there's a little channel in one stone and a biscuit-type protrusion on the next one that slides into it sideways.
I'm going to take a tuppence and flick it down into the cobwebs, and then step back.
And a coin.
Mm-hmm.
You flip it,
Yep.
falls through the grating, and vanishes into the cobwebs as if it's passing right through them. And then you hear a very faint tink, as if it's touched a stone floor.
Are the gaps between the bars wide enough for Lasher's torch to fit through?
Yes, but it might put, or nearly put the torch out by scraping the sides of it. Your typical torch is made of a hunk of wood that has had nails driven through it to hold rotting cloth that's been soaked in oil, and then you light and so because of that, because you want the torch to burn more than 3 minutes, there's several layers of cloth wound around and round it and spiked in. This might scrape it off, but if you could easily put the handle end of the torch through the hole.
Did you, just to clarify, did you say that the coin passed through the cobwebs like they're not there?
Yep. And then you immediately heard a tink. And judging, you are all experienced adventurers. You judged that the tink was happened quickly enough that it only fell about 20 feet onto a stone floor. In other words, what you heard matched what you saw of the room from the outside. It's not deeper or shallower.
I didn't see the coin break through cobwebs. I saw it pass through.
Just vanished, as if it was passing through them. It didn't stick in them, none of the cobwebs quivered. It just went, shh, it's gone.
By the gods, what fools we've been. We were presented with the obvious path straight away, and... I once had a male companion. He was an illusionist. He always looked more impressive than he actually was as well.
My dear, will you lower your hook and rope in there and see if it either attracts a guest or we jig us up and we can just go?
Yes. I shall attempt to lift the grating up, pushing it aside just a little, and begin lowering my hook and rope down into the room.
Your hook vanishes into the webs, and you feel nothing. As in, you feel as if you're lowering your hook through empty air. But what you see is your hook vanishing into cobwebs without disturbing them, and then you can't see the hook anymore. You do notice one thing, though. The cobwebs that were gray-white seem to be turning brownish around the spot where your rope vanishes into them. And you also see what looks like little white grapes. Well, no, they're not white grapes. They look like human eyeballs, as they seem to be swimming up the web strands to look at your rope, not up at you. It's as if there are like a cluster, now 6, now 7, now 8 human eyeballs that have disembodied human eyeballs, not attached to any humans, migrating, like flying, like drifting through the webs or up along the webs, and they're now surrounding your rope, peering at it, as if curious.
Higher existence, do I have any idea what manner of spell or creature?
Nope. And this is all happening in utter silence. And then you feel and hear a clink as your hook hits a stone floor about 20 feet down.
Beauregard, what do you make of this? Is this actually safe?
am I seeing the same thing as Tashra?
Yes. You are all seeing the exact same thing.
Ah! To the hells with this! I get my oil and splash it down the grate. And then I will light a rag and drop it.
So you let him get the rope and hook out of the way. The grapnel is out of the way, and then you oil and... Okay. Guess what? Thick, green-black smoke begins to curl up from all the webs and obscures your vision. But it's obscuring your vision of what you can see down through the hole in the floor. You can't smell anything, and no smoke is coming up into the room. Your room. The room above the opening. It's as if you're watching fire from afar, not experiencing it. No smoke is coming up.
This is some enchantment that means to vex us.
I mean, I feel at this stage, I may as well try this. I take out one of my scrolls. The scroll of Dispel Magic. Well, if it's an illusion, then surely something will happen if I try and dispel it. So let's try that. And I will, from the scroll, cast Dispel Magic in the direction of this room.
The cobwebs melt away, and you see only darkness below.
The burning rag? Is it still burning in there?
No, it's more like there are little sparks and so on, here and there. It's as if the rag sort of went out.
I'll hand him my torch.
And you see an empty 20 by 20 room with a door at the back of it.
Right, well, it does appear you were right, Balrogard. We should have gone for the first door. Goodness me. All right, let's get in.
Actually, what you see is 2 closed stone doors in the end wall, the far wall, the room farthest, the wall farthest from the doorway opening out of the pillar room.
So it's actually it's a room with 3 doors. One you go in, and the other 2 we haven't seen, right?
Yeah, until now. And they are side by side, closed, featureless. They look like single slabs of stone. There's each one has a pull ring on it, so it looks like it opens into the room that you're staring down into. But you don't see any sign of a lock or a latch or anything. It's just 2 identical stone doors.
Does it look like the stone floor we're standing on extends as the ceiling of one of the past those doors? Like, are we walking on the ceiling of the passage outside those doors, or no?
Your room, the room you're in above all this is larger than the rooms that are underneath it. But you don't see any other openings or anything that would lead you to suspect you can get down into those rooms from up here, except by going down it. Yeah.
Well, I'll attach the hook to the grate, start lowering my rope down, and go, all right, then, well, let's this must be the way to proceed. It's the only way to proceed. I'll go first and begin lowering myself into the room via the rope.
All right.
Okay.
I'll go.
And I will follow.
Okay, so you're all now down in the room. How are you going to get your hook back?
Oh, I'll have unhooked it, and then I can climb down.
So, Lash unhooks it and climbs down her companions to the floor. And you find yourself in a room with 2 closed stone doors, and in front of you, and another closed stone door behind you.
But we're not going to go back, because that leads to the wonderful room of all our friends.
Which bangs open, and there's an impassive suit of armor standing there with a sword, and 2 other suits of armor looking over his shoulders with swords, and then they begin clanking their way into the room.
I think speed is the order of the day. Straight for the door on the opposite side of the room.
Left or right?
Left again.
Paimora, please bless us. I'm just going to follow straight after Baragar left.
Tamora, same. Ditto. Tamora, please.
Okay, so you're banging your way through the door. In a hurry.
Heuschober bless me to even things out.
Okay, so you pull the ring, and you see a 10-foot wide, 20-foot deep room lit by a soft amber radiance emanating from its most striking feature. The closed stone door in its back wall is sculpted into a stone relief carving of a 10-foot tall, beautiful, eyes closed, female, human face with lips pursed and thrust forward as if to kiss. This face fills the door, except for a pull ring handle halfway down the door's right edge. 10 feet in front of the door, closer to you, is a stone plinth about 3 feet high. Its top is sculpted into an empty stone bowl. There's a kneeling cushion on the floor in front of the plinth, and a closed wooden cabinet about a foot deep, about 4 feet high, about 3 feet wide, double front doors, against the right-hand wall, just inside the door you're gazing through. Everything here looks clean and new. And no, none of you, in your experience as priests, although this looks very much like an altar or a shrine to pray at, have seen anything like a kissy face in any temple to any deity you know of.
Kissy face goddess.
Well, that said, I clap my hands together. Never have I been one to shy away from the kiss of a goddess. Suni Shares Auriel, I'll take her lips either way.
As we dive through, I go to try and close the door behind us. Are the armored individuals coming?
Yes, they're coming very slowly, but you close the door. Okay, and having uttered those brave and foolish words, Bralagar is doing what exactly?
Unless my fellow priests have any objection, I feel that speed is of the utmost.
The question is, Baragar, is the ritual to kiss the door, or is it to offer something to the ball?
Well, right now I have very little to offer.
Do we know what's in the other door? Do we know, just for looksies, just for...
Now, you have time to look in the other door.
I'm going to peek it open. I'm going to...
You peek through the other door with your torch held high, uncomfortably aware of the clanking suits of armor moving across the room towards you, and you have time to see that you're looking into a 50-foot square room, as in it moves away from you, so it's not overlapping magically the kissy face room, but it starts in one, your door is in one corner of it, and it's constructed walls, floor, and ceiling of stone blocks of all differing sizes, but smoothly cut and fitted together. The floor is level. The ceiling is about 7 feet above that floor. Your door enters the room in one corner, the room opening away ahead and to your right. There's a corresponding closed stone door. Again, like the door you've just opened, it's a single slab of stone with a pull ring suggesting it opened towards you, that you can't see any locks. In the diagonally opposite corner, or kitty corner, across the room. These are the only two doors you can see. Many dark, well-aged wooden barrels, identical to each other, 4 feet high, 3 metal hoops, very well used, sealed with what looks like tar, standing upright on their ends, line the walls of this room everywhere that there aren't doors. Everywhere they stand 1 barrel tall, not stacked. They fill the corner of the room to your left, several barrels deep. The room smells slightly damp, and there are wisps of cobwebs hanging from the ceiling here and there as loose strands, suggesting things have been moved in this room fairly recently. 1 barrel stands alone in the center of the room, and something small and white sits on it, glowing. Something that's rising up to float or hover in midair about a foot above the top of the barrel, facing you. It's a human skull.
I'm gonna close that door very quietly. Close it. Skull in that room. Skull in that
The
room.
one that could be the head we're looking for.
No, shh. No, don't. Let's go, Kissy Face Goddess. Let's go there.
Right, I'm glad you agree that my plan is the best one.
Oh, absolutely. The best plan. Let's just find the offering, leave it on the plinth.
So you're all three of you are in that room. You close the door again so that 3 clanking suits of armor are on the other side of the door from you. You're all three in that 10-foot wide, 20-foot deep room with a kissy face at the end. And what is happening?
The first thing I'm going to do is take another couple coins and I'm going to toss them down the hallway.
Just at the wall, into the bowl,
It's
what?
towards the bowl, but I just want to make some airborne movement through the room
Okay.
and see if anything happens.
They tumble through the air in a normal fashion from being tossed and arc to the floor. Clink, clink, roll, stop. Nothing happens.
That was for you, Samora.
Maybe this is the Chandra that we've read so much about. How's about, La Shanta, you put your knapsack of coins on the shrine in case whoever this is wants some great offering?
She gave it to a helpful purple dragon.
Yeah, we don't have the down payment.
We have. I have a little small amount.
But
of
first,
coin.
I'm gonna look at the floor, make sure that I'm not gonna step inadvertently on something strange, and I wanna get through and look in the cabinet to see what might be.
You open the cabinet, and suddenly you discover it's empty.
Really?
Yeah. It's a wooden cabinet with a, hollow interior that could hold something. It could hold something 4 feet tall. But it's holding nothing at the moment. Not even dust. It's looked like this cabinet was put here yesterday.
Move the cabinet.
Okay, you lift it up. Okay, it's a 4 foot tall, 3 feet wide, about a foot deep, empty wooden cabinet.
Any holes in the wall behind it? He asked vainly.
No. And there's nothing in that bowl on top of the plinth. I mean, all you've done is look. You have thrown 2 coins further past it.
Fine, I'll empty my purse into it. Chink, 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 into the bowl.
Into the bowl. I'll add a couple coins to the bowl, and I'm gonna add
As will I.
some herbs and some
Can I have a D20 roll from everybody?
lucky 7.
11.
8.
Now, where were you standing when you made offerings into the bowl?
Honestly, right in front of it.
Hmm?
Yeah.
I would have gone and knelt.
Aha. Could I have another D20 roll from all 3 of you?
6.
17.
14.
Aha. So, the 30-foot long cone of flame that emerges from between the pursed lips and roars out of the chamber to bash open the door behind you, and, by the way, smoke the foremost suit of armor, which stumbles back, scorched and smoking. Ironically, Tashram, who triggered this by kneeling on the pressure plate under the cushion, was shielded by the stone plinths from the full effects of the flame. So let me just give him minus 13 hit points to Lash, minus 11 hit points to Bralagar, and minus 5 to Tashram.
Damn you, Tashram!
And as you lie there writhing in agony, you hear a clink, clank, clatter from the room behind you as the foremost shield guardian falls apart, armor plate by armor plate. Clink, clank, clonk.
I wait a few seconds. Does the gout of flame eventually stop?
Yes. Oh yes, it's a one shot. And then it's over.
I slowly rise up. I look to my companions. I am deeply sorry. That was a surprise.
That's it's okay. It's all right. Okay.
No lasting damage, I say, peeling my eyebrows off my face.
It does, of course, appear, though, as in a strange twist of fate, Timora gave us both good luck and bad luck, because, look, the armored individuals.
Lass just kind of looks up to the heavens, nodding. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
There are 2
Thanks.
unblemished suits of armor that are patiently clanking forward towards you.
And this is why we cannot tarry here over long.
Perhaps it's time for that kissing.
Would you still want to kiss the door, my dear?
It's far less tempting at this point. I would rather present my arse to it, and yet still not terribly tempting.
Passion too hot even for you. I'm gonna go and try to carefully sideways open that door.
The door with the kissy face sculpted on it.
Yeah.
The stone door with the pursed lips, which, by the way...
Not with the lips, not in front of the lips, just...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it. And it has its pull ring and all the thing, and it has not changed its shape or configuration in any way, and you are cautiously edging your way along the wall and pulling the door open. Do you have any weapon ready or anything?
I have a mace in my
Yes.
hand still.
Okay. And you open the door, and you are opening the door with your mace ready, just in case. And the door swings open, and this is the first door you've encountered that goes as it opens. And you are staring into rubble. It looks like they stopped digging about 10 feet beyond this door.
Lash is so disappointed. She's just so over it. And literally there's a curl of smoke above her head from her singed hair and face and clothes. Gutted. Completely gutted. I'm gonna, thump myself back against the wall. Glare at the clanking armor shuffling towards us. And I'm going to upend a healing potion at myself. 5, 6, 7.
I think I'm going to look to Beauregard. Seeing this is a dead end, we have to go back. The 2 armors are in the way.
Wait. Let's just see. I'm gonna walk in there, kind of shake off the ashes and kind of dust off the ashes off my clothes a little bit in the singe and the scorch, and look through that rubble and see if this was planted here or if this really is the end of the digging.
It looks like it's the end of the digging. But you do uncover what looks like a tiny toad. And it looks up at you and says, "Hi, good looking. Who are you?"
Oh, hello, darling. Hello, Lash. Hello. Seen anyone else come through here lately?
Nope.
Are you sure?
You're a human, right?
Yes.
You're a human she, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're supposed to kiss me, and then I turn into a handsome prince.
That's a frog, Lash. Don't listen to this toad liar. Do you want to taste my hammer?
How about this? And I put my hands out. I let the toad hop into my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I put him up to my face and go, maybe later. And I put him in my pouch and we'll go.
Oh, well, at least I'm getting out of here. Okay, cool. All right. Mm-hmm.
He'll give you a wart, Lash. Believe me, I've had many warts from people I've kissed.
Friends, not to rush us, but
Hey, if we stand back on the walls and we press that pressure plate again, will it toast our friends?
You're gonna do it and find out.
I'll close that door, step against the wall.
Okay.
See if we can pressure plate that thing. One more time.
Okay. Nothing happens.
I'm close to smashing this pursed-lipped face out of frustration.
Baragar, I think there's 2 of them. Let's act 4.
Congratulations, you can still count.
Well, let's batter up, gents, and have a little fun with these 2.
Fine. I'm going to cure serious wounds on myself. Tempest, give me the strength to take down these pursuant foes. Finally, we will put these animated armors to rest.
Okay, roll. Get your hit points back.
I roll 12.
Okay. Ta-da!
Healing energy courses through me. I heft my hammer, and with a bellow, I charge at one of the animated suits of armor.
Okay, open the door. Bang! Charge right into them, and they are not expecting this. And their swords are raised, because they were holding them raised. But if you wish, you can head down and bull rush one of them into the other.
I think that sounds like a top hole idea.
Okay, so you can't miss. And one of them, you smash into it, lowering your head and shoulders to give it a good whomp in the breastplate. And you drive it back into the other. And 2 swords come scything down and are slashing the air behind you, because you've already knocked them aside, and they fall over backwards, and you have an unfettered run out into the room.
I shout out to my companions, Smash them! Smash them while they're down! Don't allow them to fight back! And I'm just bringing my hammer down on this armor over and over as if I'm a blacksmith, just mashing and melding this rusted armor that will not leave us alone.
So roll for damage twice, you enthusiastic Hammer of Tempest. You automatically hit. Just hammer them.
That's I get pretty good damage. So on my first strike, I get the 7, which is maximum from my hammer. And on the second, I get a 5.
Bang, bang. Okay. And now, Lash and Tashram, are you, having at these suits of armor?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yes.
rush outside to be like, it's for Baragar!
Okay,
Timora!"
again, you can't miss. They're lying on the floor right in front of you.
I'm going to totally, synchronize twin my movements with him. I rolled a 19.
Your suit of armor completely falls apart.
My damage is 2.
Your suit of armor gives you a disgusted look and tries to get up. So it's trying to get to its feet. It's rolling over to one knee to clamber
Can I
up.
backswing it?
Meaning, everybody can have another wail at it. Yes,
I'm
backswing
gonna
it.
backhand it.
By all
yeah.
means.
Take the momentum of my downswing and then whoop.
Okay, you automatically hit. You all 3 automatically hit if you wish. Just roll for damage.
10.
3.
And 6.
The last suit of armor explodes into armor plates that spew all over the room. And the shield guardians are no more.
All
Although,
right.
Oh.
by the glows playing weirdly about the armor plates, perhaps that won't be true if you tarry too long.
True.
in the-
Okay, so, in that other room, barrels, which always make me nervous. Don't, if anything's sticky in there, we're in trouble. And there's that one of those ragey talkative skulls.
Well, here's hoping that maybe it'll, knowing how this place has been going, ask us a wonderful riddle, and this time we won't activate the trap, say the wrong thing, or anger it. Maybe that toad can help.
Oh, that's true. Take the toad.
But let's get moving. Let's get moving. And I begin hurrying back into that room we were in, to then open the second door to the barrel room.
And the skull is floating above its barrel, and it speaks, although you notice when it speaks that its jaw never moves. Who are you? And why exactly should I allow you to live?
Well, kind skull, I am Tashrang, cleric of Timora. We are free travelers who have no idea where we are, and all we want is to leave.
Ah, who hired you to be innocent travelers with no idea where you are?
Pilarian.
Polarian! Of the War Wizards. Well, you go back to Polarian and you tell him that I am Death!
Well, here's the thing. We think it's starting to look to me like Pilarian threw us in here. We can't go back to him because we have no idea where we are or where the exit even is.
A likely story.
No, he is
No.
telling the truth here. Hello, Lash. Priestess of Timora. Good afternoon. We're here because we did get thrown into a room. It's my fault. I know this now. I touched a suit of armor, appeared here, and now we're trying to get our way back. Can you tell us how to get back? We'd love to leave you alone to rain death on, and laugh that way. It's amazingly ominous. Well done. And we just want to get out of here, really. Two of the nobles have been killed up top. I'm assuming we're underground. And I really...
How many pieces do you wish to get out of
One!
here
In one piece would be...
One. I see.
Well, each one of us in one piece.
Fortunately, you have come to the Chamber of Death. For I am Death, an Archlich, the mightiest Lich you've ever met. Oh, you'll never meet a more powerful one. Oh, no!
You sure?
I don't doubt it. I'm intrigued, though. Do you often get much chance for conversation?
Oh, yes. For I tarry here, a stable genius, the mightiest Archlich there has ever been, and people come to me just as you have come, and they go just as you will go.
Why can't you just leave, though, and rain death everywhere?
Does make one wonder how fucked we would have been, or how we would have been fucked had we fondled the unicorn's horn instead of that suit of armor.
I'll always wonder.
Yep, there's that thing about... Never mind, for I am Death, and I just want to visit death upon you.
But surely that would be fine, but as a mighty Archlich, as you said, what about on Polarian or the whole city? Like, that seems something that you'd be more interested in doing,
A lot more opportunities for death up there. Really.
Yes, which is why I'm going to let one of you live to carry me up there. The other two will die horribly, for I am Death. And therefore, you leave me no option but to tell you the way out. Through that door over there, behind me. That's the only safe way on.
What's the deal with the barrels?
Yeah.
That does not concern you.
Huh.
The barrels, are here because this is a room full of barrels.
I'm gonna walk up to this skull and smack it with my hammer. Its incessant babbling and claiming to be an Archlich is grating on an already tired cleric of Tempus who has been harried, set on fire by his teammates as well as traps.
Roll for your swing.
Okay. I get a 19.
You are so quick that as it soars towards the ceiling to elude your swing, you manage to ding it. Its jawbone goes flying away across the room to shatter against the far wall. And it says, "Now look what you've done!" Okay, that's it. It's your jawbone I'm coming after. I'm gonna have me a new jawbone. You better fit. And because I am Death! Death! I'm the mightiest Archlich you've ever met. Oh my goodness.
I actually do just start going to the door going, I totally agree, and we'll let Valario, no, you're doing a wonderful job down here.
Thank you.
Oh, you just work for him.
No. I do not work for Polarian. Bah, what an insult. I'll gum you.
Do you want me to hit you again?
No. That's why I'm up near the ceiling out of your reach. I'm staying there. Because I am death! Death, I tell you.
Mr. Amdeath, who do you work for? Who put you here?
Laurent, if you must know.
Is he an enemy of Polarius?
No, he's just a wizard for hire. And when he, gets back from his, supper break, he will be speaking directly through me rather than leaving, me to speak for myself. But in the meantime, I want you to know that I am death. Death. I am your death. I'm the most horrible death you can conceive of.
Merkel is terrified for his position right now.
You're all corrupt terrorists.
Yes, okay. To the door. Let's all take a barrel and get
Be
going.
careful with the barrels if they're sticky. Just,
I'm going to pry open the top of one of these barrels. What is it you're protecting, Death?
It's a barrel entirely full of human eyeballs in oil.
I close the barrel again. Right, we're leaving without the barrels.
I think that's a good idea. This way, through the door.
Oh, good, because I have so many recipes that use them. And if you'd taken them...
How do you even eat?
I don't eat. For I am death!
Very well.
who does eat them? Who does?
All the mercenaries. They have strange tastes, you know. You can take me with you?
Don't put him in your knapsack as well as the toad.
As much as I would like to. I think that he's doing such a good job here. I would hate to take him away from his excellent vocation.
Yeah, we'll send your regards to the Lord of Bones.
Thank you. For I am death, but you know that.
Yeah.
I'm the mightiest archlich but you know that already.
We've closed the door on him.
Okay. Oh, are you going through the door?
We have.
You are in a 10-foot wide room that stretches back 30 feet to a closed stone door. Single slab, pull ring at the midpoint of the right-hand edge, no visible locks. Its walls, floor, and ceiling are made up of smooth, closely fitted stone blocks of varying sizes. Gap-slatted wooden crates of apples line both walls, piled up to a wooden loft overhead of what looks like loose boards. There's a lot of something piled up atop those boards, but you can't see much through the gaps in the boards, except wood. Lots and lots of what looks like split wood, not yet cut into boards.
Hey, Death. What's
Yes?
what's in this room? Is it dangerous?
Yep, but you could come out and face me, for I am
Death.
death!
Yes.
Death.
Yes?
If you, would be so kind as to guide us from this place, we will set you free upon the city to lead a harvest of souls, whatever.
Swear upon the altar of Tempest, Lord of Battles, because I don't trust you.
Well, there is no altar to Tempest down here, so you will have to take my word, just as I take yours that you are
Swear
the
upon your holy symbol.
I'll swear at you in a minute.
Place your holy symbol against your organ of generation and swear to me upon it.
That I will take you from this place.
Without damaging me further.
Of course.
You will take me from this place.
I will swear it if you lead us from this place with no harm done to us.
It will be noble. It will be the most adventurous lich I've ever met.
I cannot promise that no harm will come to you, because that is not up to... But I can lead you and warn you of the harm to come. You will be responsible for avoiding it yourselves. For I am not a shield. I am death.
You know what, Def? I'm sure that you can. You'll kill us all anyway when we get out. So
True.
it's a
Very
win-win
true.
scenario.
I swear upon my loins.
Come on, let's see it. Come on, then. I've met your type before.
I swear upon Tempus's hammer, and I clutch my loins next to my warhammer, that I will bring you death to the surface wherever we are.
Done. And you will find my word is my bond, for I am death.
Yes, restrict your speech to guidance rather than proclamation.
So, don't go through that door. Come back out of that room. That room full of deadly traps.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Thank you.
Wait, why did you tell us this was the safe room first?
Because I am death. My job is to kill you. And I'm just a skull. All I could do is nibble at you.
Like a mimir.
Yes, yeah.
All right, then. So, we're going to come out, and then where are we going?
Okay, see this room that we're in now? My room with all the barrels. Notice how the barrels are 1 barrel deep all the way around the room, except where the doors are, and except where there are 3 barrels deep in that corner. Go move those barrels.
I will go and do so, sort of saying, I really am intrigued. By the way, while we're doing this, who on earth designed this place, and why? Was it your wizard friend?
Laurent.
No. The wizard, and he's not my friend, Laurent was hired by these mercenaries just to jazz this place up, to use an expression we heard from Elminster once. I don't know what jazz is, but I know what up is.
Who are the mercenaries, do you know?
I don't know their names. Riffraff, working for someone. I don't know any. I'm a skull, damn it. I'm death.
The greatest archlich in the world, as we know. I finish, hopefully, moving those barrels aside.
I'll help.
Revealing.
Aha! Now, you see this trap door you've just uncovered?
Hey.
Ah, yes.
You might want to, well, let me be very gentle with you. You might want to lift that slab of stone there that has the handhold hole in it very carefully and not look down the shaft after you've done it. Stand well back.
We will follow your advice.
So you see that this trapdoor is a solid slab of stone with a handhold hole in it 3 inches in from the midpoint of one of its edges.
Right, well, we do. As the skull says, open it slowly, carefully, and make sure to stand back.
Slide the slab away, not looking down
Oh
in.
gosh, yes. It's 20 pounds of stone easy. It's a slab. And you slide it back cautiously, sort of using it as a shield. And he says, now, someone sticks something over the hole.
I've already sworn on mine.
I remove an iron spike from my pack of things. I take the iron spike and stick it in front of the hole.
And there's suddenly you hear a whoosh, whoosh, and 2 crossbow bolts shoot up the hole and whack off the ceiling.
Ah, right, lovely. Is it now safe, Mr. Def?
You might want to, stick something else out.
I withdraw my iron spike and then do it again. I wave it around a few times, in fact.
Okay, no more crossbow bolts come up. She's probably run out of crossbows by now.
Who's she?
Who's she?
The hired archer at the bottom of the shaft.
At this point, I call out to the shaft. Whoever is down there firing crossbows at us, let's make a deal. If you just go away, we will ignore you, and I'll even throw some coin in it for you. I'm going to take the whole pouch of 10 gold that I have on my person, jingle it over the hatch, and then go, catch!
And you let go?
Yes.
This quite a long time before you hear a of your sack of coins hitting what sounds like a stone floor.
And how do you propose, Death, that we get down a shaft that deep without dying?
Well, you climb down it. There's handholds and footholds, the same thing, cut all down one's inside of it. Let's see. You're going to have to drop the last 20 feet.
That's all right.
That's fine.
Unless you go on that side of it. I think that side corresponds to the wall. Yes, that side corresponds to the wall. You can go all the way down on that side.
Excellent. Out of interest, Death, as I start to go to the entrance, we're going further down. Are we actually getting closer to the exit or further?
I've been given to understand you gotta get in to get out.
Very well, then. I go to the handholds. I shout down, "Again, those coins were blessed by Timora herself, so if you go and gamble with them, you're going to make a fortune. So hopefully all's good. Please."
Well done. Good job.
I start
good job.
climbing. Thank you, Lash.
I watch to see whether he gets peppered with bolts.
You want me to fly down and check whether you're gonna get bolts up the backside?
Well, it's a bit late now. He's already climbing down the shaft, but you feel free to keep him company.
Okay, I'll go down with him. Because I am Death, the mightiest archlich, and you might need your bottom protected.
True.
Thank you.
Thank you so
I start
much.
climbing down.
No problem. And as you climb down, you can feel cool air coming up, and it brings with it a gentle waft of mildew. And, you climb down, and down, and down, and then you reach a room. It's very dark down here.
I was going to say, hey, Death, do you have any illumination?
He lights things up in about a 5-foot radius around him. He sort of has this pale white glow, but it doesn't really... He's not a flashlight, or a searchlight, or a lantern. He's a glowing skull, so he sort of adds his charm to about a 5-foot radius sphere.
Wait a minute. It's pitch black down here. That archer sits down here in the dark, just waiting for one person all the way up there to open a hatch.
And as you utter these immortal words, you hear a loud metallic clack coming off from that direction. And when I say that direction, it looks like you're in a long, narrow room and at one end of it, but you can't tell the dimensions because you can't see well enough. But you do know the clack came from the other end of the long axis of the room, from where you are now. You're at one end, and the loud metallic clack came from the other.
So it's not the clack of someone firing an arrow at me?
No.
Okay. I go, hello? Do you want more money? You're a mercenary, right? We're mercenaries as well. Let's come to a financial deal.
You hear nothing other than your own voice echoing back. And then the skull says, "Let me try. I am Death!" And it echoes back. It says, "I'm the mightiest archlich."
I'm going to jump down, everyone. I do the drop.
I go do the drop.
Bang. You drop painfully onto your own sack of coins.
There are worse things to land on.
I pick it up.
Okay? It seems to be intact.
Good deal.
A little squash. Somebody landed on it, but I mean, nobody's opened it or taken any coins, and you don't see anything but stone floor around you. The skull helpfully circles you with its glow.
Beauregard, I think, at least for the moment, I'm not dying, so...
Yeah, come on down.
Well, that's good news. I will make my way down as well.
Death, you have an amazing glow. It's really kind of handsome. But can you maybe glow over towards that walls and let us know what's in here?
Oh, all right. So, Death goes scuttling off in one direction, and then scuttling off in the other direction, and shows you that you're at one end of a 20-foot wide room. And then it says, "What wall would you like me, or should I go down the center?"
Down the center and then show us where the clock came from. Please.
It heads down the center of the room, and the room is 20 feet long, 30 feet long, 40 feet long, and in the 40th foot it ends at a solid stone wall. You notice that the ceiling is flat where you came down into the shaft, and then it angles up. So the ceiling of the room is 40 feet up at this end, and that leaves space for these truly impressive double armor-plated doors. 10 feet wide, each of them, double doors, closed, 35 feet high. These are the most impressive doors you have ever seen underground or to a building. You've seen city gates that are bigger and more impressive, but...
Mr. Death, what on earth is this place? You said your wizard friend had jazzed it up a little, but this is like some sort of very carefully constructed location.
Throne room? Royalty?
I feel bound by our agreement to tell you that these doors are a trap.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we played The Mystery of the Unicorn Chamber for Dungeons & Dragons and the Forgotten Realms. Our Dungeon Master was none other than the creator of the Forgotten Realms himself, Ed Greenwood, and we were also joined by the Gentleman Gamer Matthew Dawkins and Liisa Lee. The music was created by Ager Sonis and was used with permission from their label, Cryo Chamber. We also used music from Baldur's Gate 1 and Baldur's Gate 2 by Michael Honig, used with permission from Beamdog. If you aren't already playing the enhanced editions of these classic games, now is a great time to begin. We would also like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, and David for their generous support. And we would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and see you soon again.